Alrighty, folks. Let's see. Today, I think we're going to get a little bit complicated here because I'm expecting a lot of back and forth in this market. I'm not expecting a lot of range to take place in this market. So instead of constantly taking a look at and adjusting this short position, I figured we could take a look at a daily chart real quick and see that Ethereum has generally been in this range for a long time. So what we can do is I'm looking at like 1400 down to like 1227. So 1220, we'll do like 1225 to 1400 range. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow us to benefit as long as from liquidity rewards and then additional rewards on top of that that we can compound back into the system so that we can uh, make this make a little more sense. So what we're going to end up doing is providing liquidity within a range because perp.com uses the Uniswap v3 concept of concentrated liquidity. So as long as Ethereum stays within our range, we will be providing or we will be receiving a, uh, a our percentage, whatever that works out to be, of the funding of the liquidity fees. So let's go here, and then there's a couple different ways you can do this. If you just simply wanted to have a go down or go up kind of easy solution, what you could do with this is this would only, if you did go up then go down, this would only invest and convert into Ethereum as price went up, and then as the price come back down, you would come back into USDC. Whereas the other way is if it goes down first, it's gonna do basically the exact opposite. It's gonna convert into more ETH and then convert back into USDC. But since we're in that range, I think we can do get away with providing both, and then just uh, rolling the dice just a little bit that the price will come back. Because in order to minimize impermanent loss, the price needs to come back to our starting point, or we need to offset that with some other rewards, and then we can just close the position whenever we were wanted. So we're gonna. I said like 1235, I think. I don't remember, and 1400. And then again, since this is gonna affect our margin ratio, I don't want to add too much. We still may have to put some more um, input into this. But so let's just go ahead and do 250, which is we may even want to do less than that just to make sure I'm not going too hard on the. Yeah, there we go. I was thinking about 250 total, because what this is going to do is going to take both. And since we're going in the middle, basically, we're effectively providing this liquidity on both sides of the market. So we have to have Ethereum and USD, and we'll effectively be taking a loan for the Ethereum side of it. And that exact amount of Ethereum will have to be paid back no matter what the market value is when we decide to remove this liquidity. So that's why I'm thinking, since we're trading within a range, we could just hold on to this for a while, let the market does what it does, and then when we see here in a month or so that if we're still in this range, we can let it ride, or if we're looking like we're starting to break out of this range, we can make that decision to either get out of the trade or add another liquidity, because they let you add up to 3 ranges of liquidity here. So let's go ahead and get this clicked through. So we're going to provide 125 of both. Of $125 and $125 at the current market value of ETH. And then that's going to set us up a wide range, a pretty wide range, to simply sit here and collect fees. And we're not going to work today, are we? Um, let's do this again, folks. There we go. Pools, Ethereum, add liquidity, advanced. Let me go look at my numbers. I think it was like 1235. I think I was a little low, but it doesn't really matter. Just as we want to go like swing high to swing low, yeah. So like even 1225 to 1400 would be a good, even 1405. So we'll do, um, yeah, yeah, that's a good number. 1225 to like 1405. So we'll go 1225 to 1405. And then we'll do 125. Add that liquidity. There we got the MetaMask to pop up that time. What a concept. What a concept. All right, so let's go and see what this does to our margin ratio because we don't want to have too much. I think it changed colors on us. So I may end up having to push a little bit more funds over to this. No, good. It didn't bump it hardly at all. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, folks. So, all right, now we are providing a liquidity right in the middle of our range, and that's perfect. So we want the price of Ethereum to kind of just meander around here for absolutely as long as possible, and um, and let this fees start to kick up. So basically, now as trades take place on perp.com, since we're providing the liquidity for those trades, we will be compensated in the appropriate ratio that we've provided. So we'll get our $208 worth of liquidity percentages, and we're just going to let it sit there. So, but now let's see that since I did add liquidity, let's see if any by any sort of random chance, yeah, see, they need to fix that because now the other problem is since we haven't changed the short side on our actual short trade, it hasn't settled any of the liquidity payment or the funding fees that we have received since 929. So what I probably should do is I've made a request to the team there to create a little button here. Is just put a little button somewhere to say, hey, settle settle contracts, and just let me emit a an appropriate transaction and not have to go fart around with finding it in a ether scan and making sure you got the right values and not emitting it for the wrong thing and wasting gas. So yeah, hopefully we can get a button here to do it. But for now, let's just get a little more skin in the game because I'm happy with a more negative bias, and we can come just a little bit higher on that leverage. So let's go in here and say we'll do a market short, and we'll do maybe another 125 and see what that gets us. Well, let's go a little more conservative and do 100 since it's only 10%. So that shouldn't drop us too much lower. But then that'll give us more short exposure as well because at the end of the day, I'm expecting this market to go lower. Hopefully not below our range here, which is what we set for the liquidity side. But never know, never know. So let's go ahead and do that and see if it was a good decision later on or not, because that's what the name of this game is, folks. Throw some skin on the table and see what happens. And so now that we're adding a little bit more of a short, it's going to go ahead and make the um, necessary changes. Yeah, see, it didn't bump us up hardly at all. So I could even went a little higher than that because I do have a negative perspective on this market. So I do want this short to pay off in the long run. I am hopeful. And I could have closed a little bit of it down here because we did push down pretty far. And but I just was letting the thing work and not looking at the actual P&L here for a while. So all right, so let's go ahead and reload this. and they still haven't fixed this problem, folks. Um, oh, funding payments. There we go. Yeah, again, it's still not fixed. But again, so we've now received um, three different funding payments, but we don't know the amount because the bug's not fixed. We can look it up in the GraphQL playground is how I have been watching it, and but I have been assured this problem is going to get fixed whenever they decide to fix the problem. But all right, so now we have received a total of three funding payments that are all have been paid out to us, even though this market has been up and down. So that's great. I was assuming a little bit more, but they may roll them up. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. This is brand new to me, and brand new deployment of V2 on Optimism. So they're still working things out, and I'm gonna let them do that. But for the moment now, we have now effectively. Oh, see, we've already created a little bit of a fee there, collected a little bit of fee on this liquidity. So effectively, I'm not 100% certain here, but effectively, what I believe we've just created with the liquidity and the short position, we've effectively created like an equivalent to an iron condor, to a short iron, so to selling an iron condor, which is a stock option technique to allow you to have exposure to a ranged bound instrument. And so I believe I will do some more research on that part because I believe that's what we just created. Is now we're collecting fees on this entire range, but then we're also short, so it might be like an iron condor covered call kind of thing. So we may have like an extra little leg onto our iron condor that wouldn't be possible in the equities market, but we can do, or I mean, you could have a separate position that does that. So we're kind of combining things just a tiny bit here, but I wanted to get a little bit more um, action happening out here, other than just leaving that short on and letting it sit for a month and not have it make any money, because the big thing here is this pool party. And once it decides to load, and I may even have to connect my wallet here. Nope, it decided to connect there. All right, so when it decides to show my rewards, and again, this may be something that it may not show until they seed it. Yeah, so they're not even seeing anything yet. But the base rewards, you can make up to 221%, and then additionally on the extra rewards of perp and OP tokens they give you, will bump it up an additional 257%. So that is a crazy number, and it's potentially not sustainable. So I don't expect it to last very long. But I did want to get involved in it now, because in my main account I have been providing a significantly more amount of liquidity, and was actually quite shocked on how much I was able to claim this week, because they seed all the rewards on Monday. So when I did see the amount of claimable rewards in my main account, I did some quick math and was kind of shocked, folks. It was one of those things that I'm like, wow, okay, let's do this and let's do this right. So now let's just let this roll. We're gonna let the fees come in. We're gonna deal with impermanent loss by having the additional rewards. But my hypothesis here is that we're going to be in a downward biased but back and forth market for a very long time here. And we'll see over time if I picked a wide enough range. We probably could have picked a little bit wider of a range to just give us more. Um, but there's nothing stopping us from picking an even wider range and adjusting as the market conditions show in real time in the future. So, alrighty, folks, I've just been informed I have some food waiting for me to go tear up, which is what I'm going to go do. So go ahead and get yourself started by clicking on my referral link in the bottom. That will definitely help um, uh, save me a little bit of my trading fees. And then you too can refer people out to save your trading fees. So that's kind of how this game works. Refer your friends, save a little bit of money. and kind of join the party. Come down in and check us out on Discord, all that good stuff. We're talking about, sniping coins, getting full nodes synced up. I document a lot of these basis trades and a lot of these other ideas that I have in the various channels we have in Discord. So come give us a chat and say hi and see that. Tell us that you saw me on or heard me on YouTube. I would scare you if I showed my face, folks. So we don't want to do that. So all right, I will catch you in that next video, folks.